Good afternoon, everybody. All right, it's time to get down. We've got Talk About Texas again, and I'm Ron Houston. Good to have you here. And we've got some really great guests today. First off, let me introduce you to our sidekicks, John Nava and Sharon Arnold. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you for letting us be here.
Yeah, that's all right. Thank you very much. And, we got a good lineup coming up here shortly, and I'm excited about it.
Take it away.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you to a personal friend of mine that I knew for many, many years. And now he is the CEO of the greatest rodeo in the world, the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, is Cody Davenport. Cody, welcome to our show.
Yay. Hey, man.
Hey, we never do this for just anybody.
I'm telling you, I'm sitting here in the presence of legends of the show. I'm the one that's honored. This is awesome.
You're the legend.
Yeah, you're the legend.
Cody, how did you start into the rodeo?
Yeah, I was a volunteer for up to 20 years when I started. I came in, and we were just a bunch of kids. We were throwing concerts out there with little-known names around here, like Robert Earl Keen and Jerry Jeff Walker, for those of y'all that are legendary music followers.
That's us.
We were kids out there having a good time, just throwing parties, and one day Keith Martin, who is my predecessor as the CEO there, he called me in. I'd never met him before. I didn't know a whole lot about the show outside the fact that we were raising money, and we would go in and we'd buy in the junior livestock auction. And he said, hey, we're looking to put on a barbecue cook-off. You think you can do that? And I'd never even met the man. So I walked out of his office, and somehow I'd inherited the start of a barbecue cook-off. Called my buddies in Houston and said, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to come visit you guys. And that's a big event. Yeah.
Oh, it was huge.
So that was my start. Started with the barbecue cook-off, and from there, gosh, I ran the Ranch Rodeo. Started the Ranch Rodeo there, ran that thing. I was one of the first AVPs. Then I got moved to exec.
What's an AVP?
Assistant Vice President. We were the first group, Assistant Vice Presidents. We were moved out of chairmanship into kind of a middle management role, if you will. Then I moved on to the Executive Committee, and then I got the honor of serving as president. And then one day they sat down and said, Keith Martin's looking to retire. Would you come in here full time? And I had to, I fell out after falling out of my chair. I said, I've loved this place for 20 years. You're damn right. I'd love to spend the rest of my life here. So,
yeah.
You're doing a good job, Cody. I heard nothing but good stuff about it.
Great job.
Speaking of the barbecue committee, I remember way back then when you first started, I didn't know who in the heck you were, but I think it was KJ97 was the one that was running it. And then they told me I need to go see him because, we sell raffle tickets.
Yeah.
And he told us whatever y'all wanted to do, just do it.
Yeah.
And so we did. And it was very successful. And then during the rodeo, he came up to me, he said, hey, John, do you remember? Yeah, Cody. And he said, how was it? I said, man, we hit our home run. Because of you, Cody, we did it.
Wow. Yeah, and 1993 is when you started. You became a volunteer.
It was right around 93 that we started, and we weren't even, I was not an official, if you will, on the records volunteer, I think, for, it was like 5 years. That we were not a committee. We weren't recognized as volunteers. But truthfully, we were in it for the cause. We believed in what we were doing. I wasn't real hung up on it. Now looking back, it's kind of funny, but we spent 5 years. I wasn't even recognized as a volunteer at the show, and I'll never forget the first time I pulled in the parking lot and I saw a parking space and it had barbecue and then it had my name on it. I looked at my wife and I go, man, we made it big time now. I've got a Coroplast sign. Jeez, this is
that's
big.
True.
But
if you're at the rodeo and you get a spot,
barbecue a long time
and now
ago.
you got a better sign.
Yeah.
He got front row, babe, right on it.
If you stay long enough, you'll get
a lot of work. You do a great job.
Well, Cody, if you would, I know what we know about the rodeo. Can you explain to our public about the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo? What it's all about?
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, I could go on for hours about all the different things we do, right? But in a nutshell, what I always say is that we uphold a way of life, if you will. Like we are the Western culture and the values that surround that. And the greatest way you can ever ensure that culture or that way of life is to make sure that the next generation is coming up behind you with it. Right. And our job is to go out and take care of the youth of Texas. We do that in forms of scholarships, endowments, and grants, and junior livestock auction. And even outside of all that giving, probably just as importantly, if not more so, we teach kids how to live in a competitive environment. We teach them to go out and be a part of competitive events. We teach them how to win. We teach them how to lose. We teach them how to get up. And we teach them how to be successful in the things that they believe in or the things that they want to be behind. And in the process, we get to ensure that our way of life has that next generation coming up. So We are for the youth in the state of Texas. That's what we do. I could go on for hours about how we do that and the various farms we do it and the tons of committees we have and the volunteer backgrounds and all these types of things. The central focus is making sure that next generation is coming up with the same values and beliefs that we have.
That's great. That's a great thing that you do there. Give scholarships to these kids in all different areas. And
Yeah, and speaking about scholarship, I'm holding something here very special.
yes, he is.
It's a new thing that started out 2 years ago with tequila.
Yes, sir.
And this year it's going to be some wine, which I'm taking home, everybody. I'm sorry. I'll fight y'all over it. I'm just
right.
kidding. Cody, can you explain to us about this year?
Yeah, for sure. I'll back up just a hair here. So we talk about scholarships from the kids, stuff like that. And one of the areas that we want to make sure that we do is that we're in the modern age of agriculture, if you will. We're more than cows and plows. It's where we came from. It's where I came from. I get it. And that's our base. But when you talk about agriculture as a whole and making sure that generation is coming up behind us, and these kids, that they have a future in front of them, stuff like that, viticulture is one that is big. It's an area that kids can be involved in agriculture, make a career of it. I mean, it's something that is a major industry, especially as our Texas wine industry continues to grow. Our location, proximity to Fredericksburg and Johnson City and things like that, the viticulture country up there. So what we did is we started recognizing this, and we said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go out and we're going to create our own wine. Now, when I say create it, this comes off of a Napa vineyard that we partner with, and we help blend it. We put our label on and stuff like that. The objective here is year-round income production through our brand and our products out there that are part of agriculture. Wine comes from agriculture. Now we're partnering with H-E-B on this. You'll see it on the shelves January 15th. Year-round, it'll be out there, and every time you buy a bottle there, you are helping a scholarship fund for those kids out there. This money 100% goes back in to our scholarship
that's all
fund.
year round.
And the name of it again?
Stockman Wine.
Stockman Wine.
Yep.
If you're just now joining us, you are listening to the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, not show, but it's something we've put together to be able to honor those volunteers. And we've had some very impressive guests on, and one of those is with us today, Cody Davenport, CEO, CFO, CEO. CEO. And John Nava and Sharon Arnold, who are my
Not yet.
our team here. And we appreciate you listening in, and we're here to help honor the volunteers that make the Stock Show and Rodeo in San Antonio possible. And I think, what do we got, about 6,000?
We have 6,000 volunteers. Yeah.
6,000 volunteers. So thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Anything we can do for you, let us know. You call the rodeo office, and or any of us here. We'll give our numbers out here just a little bit. All right, John?
Yeah, Cody, one more thing. I know we have a lot of members and all that, but what is, how much money approximately do we raise every year that we give out to the kids? Now with this new wine and tequila coming out, I know it's going to be more.
Yeah, for sure. We're going back to year-round types of production and stuff like that. I'm going to circle back real quick. The Stockman Wine, recognizing the volunteers, this wine was developed by our volunteers.
Wow.
So
Really?
when you talk about the wine committee, Gloria Ramirez is our chairman there. She was in the team to help develop this here. Hannah Minger, one of our
Hannah Minger.
AVPs, who was the former chairman of the wine committee. She was in the development of this product as well. So you're looking at literally a volunteer-created product here that's come up. So recognizing
awesome.
those volunteers and their development inside of this. So going back to your question, rephrase it and I'll answer it if you don't.
Well, just approximate. I know, we give away scholarship every year, and, a lot of people don't know how much money the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo raise for the kids.
Over $12 million is where
Wow.
we've been. Yeah, over $12 million back in giving. Again, it goes from the junior livestock auction
That's
to
everything.
endowments, scholarships, grants, and all the farms. That is the financial giving that goes back out, right over $12 million annually. Now we've got. I love to talk about dollars. It's wonderful because it's something that is easy to tag and stuff like that. But the giving that goes out there, John, as you know, and I know. There's so much giving that goes from our volunteers to these kids in so many different forms than just the dollars. Through the mentorship and the type of work they do with these kids out there, educational programs, we are a major impact.
Yeah, we are. But there's something that I just, correct me if I'm wrong. What I understood, every penny that the kids get at the auction or whatever, they get it all.
They do.
They do. Some rodeos, which I'm not going to mention, there's a cut. Yeah. They only get, some, just like our grand champion steer, they got over $100,000. That kid got over $100,000.
Yeah, it's kind of like without going in a deep dive on it, we have what you'd call like an open auction. In the sense that an individual child who comes through there, whatever that number is that is pegged on that particular, lot number, that animal, that child, that money goes to that child.
Right.
Lots of them
awesome.
are staggered with caps and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, folks, we got about a minute left. We want to remind you that if you want more information about any of the stuff we're talking about, how do we get it, Sharon?
You can go to the sarodeo.com and buy your tickets.
sarodeo.com, and don't forget, there's plenty of tickets left. And we'll have a phone number for you on that here in just a little bit, because we have a special insight into one of those people selling tickets, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, what do you got left?
That's about it for right now.
You'll wrap it up. That's fine. And we're very happy to have Cody Davenport on with us today. And Sharon, you have anything left for Cody?
Cody, I just appreciate you being here. And I also appreciate everything you've done for the rodeo. You have grown it to a whole new level. You really have.
Well,
and she knows. She worked inside.
And the other thing is the grounds. You've built up the grounds so much.
Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot, definitely coming from y'all. This team, this team that's sitting here in front of me, I laugh about it. They truly are legends of the show. They've been there a long time. They've seen so much of our show, and, compliment coming from you means a lot to me. I appreciate that, Sharon.
Yeah, you've done a lot. Really.
Likewise for me, Cody.
Thank you, John.
I know you for years, and just like I told you earlier, all I heard none but goods about what's happening.
I've known him before he was even the committee took over. He had the barbecue committee, but we didn't even make it the committee. And then he would do the barbecue.
And he was the first chairman of the barbecue committee.
And then finally, they brought it on and made it a committee. Thank God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's great. You've
Cody,
done a great job.
Thank you. We got somebody coming on you can help us talk to here in just a minute.
Sure.
We've got Sid Miller, who's the big shot for the Texas Department of Agriculture. Sid, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good to be with you, Roy. Cody.
Yeah, haven't talked to you for a while. You're a busy man, aren't you?
I have been. I've spent over 200 nights last year in hotels.
And I think, if I remember correctly, you went to, what was that college, the university you went to?
I'm a graduate of Tarleton State University.
Tarleton. And they have a pretty fair rodeo team in Tarleton, don't they?
Won more national championships than anybody.
Well, listen, tell us a little bit about you and your job, and what is it that we need to know about the Department of Agriculture is doing for us today?
Well, good night. Where do I start? It's a $7 billion agency, so my budget is bigger than the budget of 35 governors. So it's a agency that they think everybody knows what we do, but absolutely you don't. I mean, we're all about agriculture, cows, sows, plows, all that kind of stuff. But we do a lot of other stuff. We're the consumer protection agency for the state, so I'm responsible for making sure every barcode scanner in the state is accurate. People aren't getting ripped off. Every scale in the state, you think, well, that's at the grocery store and the hardware stores. Well, it's a little more than that. We go into pawn shops and jewelry stores that buy and sell gold and silver. We go to the airport, check the scales that weigh your luggage. I have highly trained inspectors that inspect ping pong balls. No one knows that we're the ping pong ball inspectors. We certify the ping pong balls and inspect them for the Texas Lottery. It's kind of important that they're accurate and not rigged. So I guess my biggest division is food nutrition. I run 12 of the 14 federal nutrition programs, all the state programs. So every school day, I'm responsible for 5 million school meals across the state of Texas. So that's a pretty big operation just by itself. It doesn't end there. We do adult feeding programs, summer feeding programs, nursing homes, stock area food banks, produce recovery. I feed the people that in times of emergency, like a hurricane or something like that, I have to feed all the people in the shelters and the animals. We provide the animal shelters too. So anyway, one of the things that I've done since commissioner, our schools weren't buying or serving any locally grown products to our children when we started. So we worked real hard on that. When I started, we had healthy trash cans instead of healthy kids. So last year, through my farm to school program, our school bought $300 million worth of locally grown products to serve our school kids, and that's what I call a threefer. Number one, the kids get fresh cooked meals from scratch. Two, the taxpayer wins because their taxpayer dollars aren't going in the garbage can. And three, it opens up a market for our local farmers and ranchers, maybe where they can make a little profit. And it usually ends up a little cheaper when you cut out the distributor and the middleman that touches all those products. So,
well, Sid, I got a couple more people here that want to talk to you a little bit. First one off is head of the executive director and CEO of the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, Cody Davenport. Cody?
Miller, good to be here with you. Tell you what, I'm going to try to bring the next generation up there to help you out some. Sounds like you're not doing anything. You sound kind of not on a busy day. I'm going to try to get you some help, man.
We'll be down there at the San Antonio Livestock Show and Rodeo, just like we are every year. We certify the scales. We do that as a courtesy to all the stock shows. And we'll be there with our Go Texan booth and being displaying, representing all of that's our marketing program for all these good Texas producers and products that are made in Texas.
Y'all always been great with us, and we certainly do appreciate the support.
Yeah, well, it's all about the kids, right?
Yes, sir, it is.
Sharon, you got anything?
That's great. I'm glad you do that. And you'll be at the rodeo, right? Will you be there for the whole 18 days?
I won't be at the rodeo every night. I used to come down there and rope many years at the horse show. But when y'all moved in the new building, for some reason, I don't get to come anymore. They cut out the calf roping. And so to get back up, I'll come back and rope again with you. It was some good memories there.
Yeah, that's great. Well, the rodeo starts February 6th to February the 23rd. And what do you want to do? Sell us more? We have 21 performances. Cody has 21 performances, and he's at every one, and he never quits. He's there from all day, all night.
Well, we want you to come down and be with us because, as you know from past experiences, we're going to have some fun at this rodeo, and we want you to be part of it. And so I'll be talking to you again. Maybe we'll do another interview here before the show. And we appreciate you visiting with us today. And I know you're a busy man, and so if we can ever do anything for you down here in San Antonio, be sure and let us know, okay?
Oh, but be glad to do it. And I'll just commend the San Antonio Rodeo. I think how many years y'all won, best large indoor rodeo of the year, PRC.
We even won the women last year, which is, as you know, those barrel racers, they're not all easy to please, and we actually won the WPRA one last year.
Yeah, I remember that. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, the rodeo started in 1949. 1950 was the first show.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, we want to say thank you. I know you're busy. Appreciate you taking time. You've always taken time for me, Sid, when I needed you for an interview, so we owe you big time. And saying that to a politician could be dangerous, but you're a good politician. How's that?
Thank you. We love working with y'all down there. And one more thing I'm going to brag on, Stock Show and Rodeo. These kids don't get enough attention, but that ag mechanics program y'all got down there is outstanding. I just can't believe what those kids, put together and make. I mean, it's just if you listeners out there, if you ever get a chance to go see what those FFA students make.
Well, will you be down for the ag mechanics show?
I try to make it every year.
Well, if you're coming, be sure and let me know, and we'll try to coordinate for you to do a call-in from Ag Mechanics and talk to them. How's that?
Sid, that's actually one of our fastest-growing programs we have, is that Ag Mech one. Obviously, we're very much behind it, and we know where the future is going with that program. But
it's outstanding.
It's one of our fastest-growing programs, I'm proud to say.
That's great.
Well, listen.
That means a lot.
We're going to do a little more visiting here. Sid Biller, head of the Commissioner of Agriculture, State of Texas. Thank you, and best of luck to you, and be careful, okay?
You bet, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, you're listening to Talk About Texas. I'm Roy Holly. Oh, no, I'm not. I got
Ron
a split person.
Houston.
I have a split personality, and that happens every once in a while. I'm Ron Houston. Down the road, I'll explain to you why that happened. Let's talk a little bit more about Cody now that we've got him here. We've got that interview out of the way. Cody, what was it like the next day when you found out that you were going to be executive director of this whole thing, CEO?
CEO.
Did you feel like you had lead weights on you? I often thought about that. What's it like?
You know, honest to God, I mean, I could joke around it, but I just like you guys, I love this show so much that it was a godsend.
And you have a lot of good help.
I've never been a CEO of anything. I'm in Uvalde County up there running a
And
little.
you had an executive committee that was pretty strong.
But you've got a great personality, and you're very sweet, and people love to. You've got a lot of volunteers.
I've got the greatest volunteer force in the world, hands down, no doubt. I get to travel all over the world. I go to other, not just rodeos, but other events, public events. I get to see it all, hands down. I have the greatest volunteer force in the world. I would take them anywhere.
You have like 38 committees.
And then my staff, I've got a unbelievably committed staff.
Oh, my
well.
God, you do have a great staff.
So it's kind of like, I wasn't scared. I was either too dumb or whatever, but I was not scared of anything with the force I had behind me.
No.
I mean, I knew that if I was weak in an area, they would pick me up. They love this show. We all love this show. I could roll in and out. Next CEO is going to be fine. It's because this thing is a machine built by incredibly dedicated people. It cannot fail.
Yeah,
And
the volunteers.
You really don't know that until you start getting into the operations of the rodeo, and you see how it's put together. It runs like a Swiss watch.
Oh yeah, no, it's you're surrounded by greatness. I mean, quite frankly, you're surrounded by greatness, and I'm able to go out and do these things like expand us and not be scared of whatever is going to happen with the grounds in the arena down there. We can do moves like inside of the Coliseum and take it back to where we're doing equestrian events inside of it. And with all these outreach programs with the community that we're taking on to bring the kids on the east side over and things like that, all these things I can do because I can commit to it knowing I have the force behind me. I can't imagine working in an environment where I'm committing to something and I'm scared that, I can't get it done because my people behind me maybe don't understand or they don't want to do it or whatever. I can literally walk in with our volunteers and throw just about any plan in front of them.
Yeah.
And as long as we're committed to our mission, they fall in and rock and roll.
But you've done a great job
Well, you did a great job, Cody.
of building it up. I mean,
Right.
you really built it up.
Yeah, and it's just getting better and better every year.
Yeah.
There's more and more people. I know over 1 million people have showed up to our rodeo.
Yeah, you must be doing something right if you got 1 million people coming to what you're doing.
But those 1 million people haven't bought 1 million raffle tickets. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
We got to hit them up, don't we?
Yeah, we got to hit them all up.
Before I forget, I want to thank our sponsor, Gomez & Gomez Facility Solutions. Julio Gomez is the owner there, and he's been very, very nice to be able to support us financially. And by the way, if anybody else out there is listening, the station here doesn't give us the show. We have to pay for it. So if anybody out there would like to contribute a little bit to the show to help us out, we would appreciate it. You can reach me at 830-426-9228, 830-426-9228. That's my cell. Give me a call. We'll be glad to work out something for you that'll fit your budget. How's that?
Melissa.
Oh, and Melissa. And how you say her last name? Mahula?
Yeah,
Melissa Mahula. She's on the ticket committee.
And she has put together a package
Yes.
of tickets and all kinds of stuff. I don't know
You
how
have
much.
the list?
Yeah.
Melissa is a volunteer rock star, by the way.
Yeah, she is a rock star. She sold a lot of
She's
tickets.
We're going
one
to
of
talk
our
all
rock
about
stars.
it.
And she's giving it away next week. We're going to give it away.
Right.
I guess we're going to have to contact her, and Roy will give her the phone number.
Well, we'll give you her number, and you call her, be the first caller next week. That's what we're going to do. And I think it's about $300 or $400 worth of stuff.
Yeah, it's rodeo tickets, carnival tickets.
A rodeo package giveaway on our radio station, 9:30 a.m. radio, Caleb. Listen at 3 p.m., talk about Texas. And so next week, we're going to give away the tickets. We're going to give away.
And all the other stuff that goes with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know if we're going to take the first or the fourth caller or whatever. We'll decide that next week. But we want to thank Melissa for doing that. It's every little bit helps when we can do something on the show, make it more exciting. It's about time for us to get out of here, and we want to thank John Nava for being here today, Sharon Arnold, and Cody Davenport, the CEO of the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, and over 6,000 volunteers who
Thank you,
all of
Cody,
us here
for
at the
everything
table
you've done.
Thank you,
are
thank you.
dedicated to their success.
It's the greatest rodeo in the world.
Thank you guys very much for having us, and probably more importantly, thank you guys for what you're doing for the rodeo out there.
Thank you, Cody.
We're trying. I don't know if we're doing any good.
Y'all are doing
But
good.
But hey, what about my people that I got to help me here?
Telling
Huh?
you picked some
It
good
don't
ones.
get much better than that, does
You
it?
picked some good ones.
All right, we got to get out of here. Thank you again for listening to the
Talk about Texas.
Talk About Texas show. You know what it is? I write all this stuff down and I can't meet my writing. We'll see you next week.